Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho, yo ho yo ho yo ho ho ho. Hello, and
Hat.
what are you voguing?
This is a hat. I don't know.
Oh,
Fashion
okay. Anywho,
lovers.
welcome to the Interjections podcast. This is subtitled The Undiscovered Decade. We're at the final episode of our year. This is December 1995,
Woo.
and we're talking pirates. The movie we watched for this month from 30 years ago is called Cutthroat Island. And
I thought it was
usually,
Paulie.
oh, Paul, she was green, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And we're 3 years too early for that. I know the person that was in that. We usually do a spinner wheel, but since we're all through that, since of course the last person to go is going to be the last person left, Cory gets the distinction of getting to describe the film. This insanely convoluted plot could have been simpler.
Yeah. So it all took place in 1668 Jamaica when Geena Davis, who portrays Morgan, is captured by her paternal uncle, Dog, which is Frank Langella, who's looking for a map to a stash of gold in Cutthroat Island, the titular island. After he scalps her father, who happens to have the map on his scalp,
We'll get into that.
they are both bound with their separate crews looking for other pieces of the map. He just happens to come across a thief played by Matthew Modine, who helps her in her escapades, and he's also fluent in Latin, which makes him useful. So it's basically just a breakneck pace onward to Cutthroat Island.
Yeah, that actually you summed it up pretty well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you
On
simplified
pirates,
it because
on pirates, on pirates.
they kind of go back and forth in a couple spots where they didn't need to, I think. Like this could have been a little tighter, but that's okay. Like the basic plot is pretty solid. This, unfortunately, was one of the most convoluted productions in film history, and I can go into that a little bit if you want. I'll go back a little bit if we remember back towards the end of our first season, we talked about a film called Air America, and we mentioned we might cover this when we get to December 95 because Air America was produced by a film company called Carolco Pictures. I have a couple of facts about their history because this film, Cutthroat Island, crashed Carolco. Though in my research, I learned that Rennie Harlan, who directed this film, was of the mind that Carolco was sinking anyway. He was already the captain of a sinking ship. So,
Didn't they file for bankruptcy like a
yeah,
month before this movie came to theaters?
exactly. He paid a couple million of his own money just to finish something. So I have a theory why this is the most important film of the 90s. We'll go into the actual
Oh,
plot and what we liked about it, but because of Carolco specifically. Carolco was the brainchild of Mario Casar and Andrew Vina, who met at the 1975 Cannes Film Festival. Their first big hit was First Blood, which, as we've seen over the next 40 years, is one of the IPs, something to make them more money. So they latched on to the Rambo franchise and sort of made their money from that. So from there, we got things like we've covered King of New York, Air America, LA Story, The Doors. All of those were Carolco. They got the rights to Spider-Man in the, I believe, early 90s from a guy named Menahem Golan, and he had purchased them from Marvel for his company Canon, sold the film rights to Carolco because he was going bankrupt, and a massive lawsuit battle ensued where everyone was suing and countersuing because he'd also sold the home video rights to Columbia. Carolco had invested in a company called International Video Entertainment, which they thought would get them into the home video company business, which it did for a while. At the same time that they were suing Columbia to get those home video rights, Columbia countersued alongside Viacom for the sake of getting the film rights because they both believed they should have everything. The result in that, in the end, Columbia got the rights to Spider-Man, and it's just the beginning of the path of all these mergers of all these companies trying to absorb each other to make sure they have the biggest IP. So Rambo was basically one of the first IP battles, or like it gave them the idea that they should get Spider-Man, which gave everyone else, it probably would have happened anyway, but Carolco was at the center of the storm that began what we're now seeing with stuff like Warner Brothers being absorbed by Netflix. So my point is to that. Vina also founded a company he left before this actually came out. He let his partner buy the rest of his shares. He ended up making some other films like Tombstone, fine. Die Hard 3, fine. But he also made Renaissance Man. There's another one we covered, so it's kind of cool.
It's all tying back.
Exactly. In the end, they sort of just were losing money because they'd invest in these films and they make like a tenth of their money. I have a fun fact about Vina tried to make this movie called Broadway Brawler. Have you heard of this?
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. So he was going to be a former hockey star starring alongside Maura Tierney, and they barely made the picture. Bruce Willis threw a fit, got everyone fired, and Disney blamed him because they used to distribute Synergy stuff. And from there, you get a contract that forced Bruce Willis to do Armageddon, The Sixth Sense, and The Kid. It's just all these little pieces that are interesting that Carrico was at the center of, or eventually filtered down to. In the end, they dissolved after Cutthroat Island existed because it made what did we say?
16?
16, yeah, on a budget of 98. They came back in 2015. Studio Canal got the rights to their library and wanted to be able to distribute them to streaming services and whatnot. Vina has since passed away in 2019, but Cassar came back and tried to run the plays, and he sort of left after a year, but because he wasn't there anymore, they sort of just sold the title. It became something called Recall, and that eventually became a studio called Pulse Evolution Group, which just can push out the library. But also, they are currently a company that makes hyper-realistic digital humans, which is part of the AI boom.
Wow.
We're at the linchpin at Cutthroat Island to what will eventually be what's everything happening now in the film industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shot of Matthew McConaughey screaming through the bookshelf, "No, don't let this movie get made."
Which is funny you bring him up because he was one of the people they wanted to have star in Pirates of the Caribbean when they were trying to revitalize the pirate genre.
Everybody.
The other thing I was going to mention was that this is one of a long string of pirate films that are just total box office bombs.
Shooting on the water is expensive.
Uh-huh.
Shooting on the water in period clothing with period
Yeah.
ships and all this stuff. The production design, phenomenal. But
Oh,
as
the
a
money's on the
result,
screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the money is on the screen. Just watch the movie on mute, you'll be fine.
Oh,
But apparently it was so bad Geena Davis wanted to quit, but her contract prevented her from doing it.
Right.
Which
Also-
explains a lot.
She's also married
about
to
her
the director.
Right.
Cory was saying, yeah.
Yeah. But it also explains a lot about some of her performance.
Yeah.
Like halfway through, she was like, "I'm so done with this."
I feel like they had a contentious relationship, she and her husband, who she didn't divorce for another 2 years. She goes on to do Long Kiss Goodnight, right?
I was gonna say, yeah,
So-
this I always thought this was after Long Kiss Goodnight because how would they get another movie greenlit after this?
And
But
want to do one together. Like, he's forcing her to do stunts she probably shouldn't be doing. She's going on daytime television talking about, like, yeah, I almost got run over by a carriage. It's fine. Look at these bruises I got. I'm doing my own
mean-
stunts. I almost died.
that movie's infinitely more respected and it's much better, and she gives a better
Yeah.
performance. So
Slight addendum to your budget note. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, this film was the biggest financial loss ever. It cost 115 million to make and only
Yeah.
made 10 million.
is this before
Box office.
Megalopolis?
I actually
Yes.
brought
And
up
this
the
is-
Wikipedia about what are the biggest box office bombs now. It probably was at the time,
Yeah.
but it's maybe fifth
And that's-
now.
And that's in 1995 dollars.
Yeah, the other four, much like the biggest good films, are all in the 2020s now because they are infinitely more for their tickets, you know. John Carter is currently at the top because they don't know exactly how much it lost, but it's somewhere between 112 and 200. So Cutthroat Island being at 115 is a solid for sure number. They also have Mortal Engines, a movie that I bet you don't even know, Jeff. Yeah, Peter Jackson produced or directed.
He produced.
Yeah, it's an Australian fantasy epic that barely made any money. It lost like 175 million, but they know that number for sure. It actually,
series.
it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to launch another IP, so. And I've heard good things. Hugo Weaving's in it as like an Obi-Wan position, like a mentor to the main character, but I've never seen it. I feel like I'd like it. It's a post-apocalyptic steampunk epic. So it is still considered one of the biggest box office bombs. It's like shorthand for this. Much like something Waterworld, to your point, don't film on the water. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, they definitely they did get their money's worth with the locations and stuff. Like we were talking about, they shot this 3-minute long opening credit sequence, which is just vistas flying over things, and they took their time with that shit back then.
Yeah.
Which is
It does
good.
look great.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the shots. And again, the production design is phenomenal. So to your point about the locations, Jeff recognized the beach they get
Uh-huh.
beached on.
So wait, no, hang on.
Hmm.
Here's my headcanon here.
Yeah.
So when they finally get to Cutthroat Island, they claim it, and then some descendant, many generations on, who had inherited the treasure that was found by his great grand aunt, started a company where they would try to bring back dinosaurs. They needed a place to put the mutant ones, and he's like, "Well, there's this island that I had heard
Ile
of."
Saint Hubert.
Because this was very much the exact same location they used to film the new Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're watching the film together, and he's like, "Is that where they landed in Jurassic World?" I'm like, "That's the weird rock to the right where the one girl, like, you kind of
Rebirth?
see."
It
Yeah,
had
Rebirth, the new one from this summer.
it had some very recognizable
And then
topography.
they jump into the cave to start looking for the gold, and that's where they're rappelling with those like pterodactyl-like dinosaurs.
Oh,
It's the same location. We're pretty sure. And I looked it up while we're watching, and it says this beach, it's in Thailand, but it's called Phra Nang. Then the next sentence in both Wikipedias, at least, I couldn't confirm everything, but we're pretty sure. They also
yeah.
filmed in Malta, both
Yeah.
films. So I wouldn't put it past them. Jeff was like, they probably have the same location manager.
What?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same.
You look at the films, you can match up frames. I don't know that anyone's done it yet.
That's where John Hammond got all of his money.
Right. So this is a Jurassic Park prequel.
The other thing was that it was, I was talking about how plot-wise, it felt like they were trying to be Princess Bride. They had the same production designer as Princess Bride.
Yeah. So I get that. I like the costumes for sure. I like what they're trying to do. I think some of the production issues have leveled some of the performances out. Like I like what Geena Davis is trying to do, but I don't know. There's moments that are a little shaky.
Well,
Like
there's a
the
lot of
fact,
things at the beginning that are less sexual innuendo at the
Mhm.
beginning. That's clunky.
Yeah, the tonal shifts are rough.
she's also
Um,
very nonchalant for someone who had to scalp her own father, and just
Right.
waves it around, just fucking flaps it down on tables. This is the map, guys. Hey, isn't that human skin? Yeah, I scalped it off my father. I feel like you should be a little bit worse off about that.
She's a pirate, Jeff. She's done worse.
Yeah, but
It's kind of sad because despite her being the lead with a stronger leading man, this might have worked. Matthew Modine's a bit of a lightweight, and they originally had Michael Douglas cast.
Right.
I guess he had some altercation with Rennie Harlan and didn't want to be subservient to.
Yeah, I saw something about he saw how it was going and he's like, I gotta get off of this boat.
Smart.
Yeah, so I don't know if he ever even came to set, but he smartly got out before it was too late.
and then Geena Davis was like, "Wait, take me with you."
Yeah, and could not.
And then-
I think they would have had good chemistry. And
Yeah.
I also think even if they didn't, he would have helped bolster both of them.
You know who knows the exact right tone of this movie? Frank
Hmm.
Langella, who's
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A very formidable foe. He's great. But he was the best part of Masters of the Universe, so why am I shocked?
Right.
He was a good dog, if you will.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was
Uh
an unfortunate name they gave him.
I love the end because they use it, bad dog, but I don't know. They didn't
They-
need to call him dog in the
Wasn't-
first
they
place.
kept-
Kept waiting for Arnold to show up off the set of Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of Crusade, Corey?
The
Film that he never got to make?
with Arnold and I think it was Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, I just want to bring that up because you mentioned Arnold. That was the other last film they were supposed to make, Carolco. They were
Oh,
trying to put that into production, but because they were having so much trouble with this, they funneled all the money they had earmarked for Crusade and pushed it here and still had to go bankrupt.
That definitely would have made money.
Yeah, they should have chosen Crusade.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's
But I
funny
will-
because the only accolade they ever got was Rennie
Yeah.
Harlan was going to be given a Razzie for Best Director. He got nominated, but Paul Verhoeven for Showgirls won.
Wow.
So it's funny he did that. If they just made Crusade, both would be fine.
Who gets understood classics?
Yeah.
While this is a disaster piece, I have to say the stunt work in this is phenomenal. That
Oh, yeah.
that carriage chase that you were speaking of earlier, fantastic.
And also done by Geena herself.
Probably just
Yeah.
had to
But
go.
all the budget went to the insurance then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew Modine also quoted as saying that Rennie liked to have 3 cameras rolling at once. So that probably didn't help the budget, but it probably also helped the
Yeah.
carriage chase.
Yeah, capture a lot of good footage.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's better.
If nothing else, you can't impeach him for his eye.
Mhm.
He's really good at action.
Yeah.
especially second unit stuff.
I mean, the whole last half hour is a big fight on the ships, and it's you can follow who's who.
Right.
They do different things. There are moments that you're like, why did Frank Langella pause here? But that's okay. It's dramatic. It reminds you of the old pirate films like Black Swan or one of the
Oh,
Errol
they
Flynn
are
ones.
epics.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm fine with it.
They might try to condemn this movie now, but I know Gore Verbinski took a few pages off of this thing.
Sure. I think all pirate movies sort of lend themselves to what came before. If you like a swashbuckler, you're gonna take something from it.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was just, you could tell that a lot of the main cast didn't want to be there, which may have contributed to some of the performance issues. Also, apparently, part of the reason Modine was cast was because he's an experienced fencer.
Yeah, they went through a list of other people.
Yeah, he was not the first, second, third, or even seventh choice, as I
Yeah.
understand it. He didn't even do that much sword fighting, if I recall. This
That's
was
what's
like
funny. He's
one.
like trapped below deck during that entire half hour battle.
Yeah,
Only during the opening with him, right?
Sure.
Where he's at the
Did they sword fight at the ball?
he's doing evasive tactics trying to get away.
Yeah, he like goes to
yeah.
jump on a chandelier and just kind of jumps onto some steps.
It
Well,
was.
I actually like Matthew Modine in this. They could have utilized his character better because they're trying to
Yeah.
make, I think, Geena Davis's piracy work. They sort of let him fall to the wayside. I think making him a doctor instead of also a rogue sort of limits his prowess. I think it's obvious they want to platform her more.
I also think he's a better straight man, and trying to make him the comic relief doesn't really work.
Right. So
Yeah,
it's
like I said, they're trying to. It felt like he was trying to channel Carrie Elwes in Princess Diaries. No, Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Your favorite, you Freudian
Speaking
slip.
of bad movies,
I do think I said at one point it looks like they're trying to make Geena Davis. Obviously, this is retroactive. Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, and Jack Sparrow in one because she's drinking. She's a
Right.
powerful female, and she's kind of an innocent bystander. But she can't be all three at once. She should be one of those three, and I'd accept any of them. I think they're making Geena Davis do too much. Not like she can't, but I think it's a detriment to her character growth more than anything else. I think they want to just pick one lane and focus on a character trait, or then have Matthew Modine take one of those character traits because he almost didn't have any.
I think the most glaring example of her not having command is when she's trying to rally the crew, and she just seems so anachronistic. And I don't buy that any crew would follow her in the battle or any type of danger.
There is a point to make about like women in piracy. Like there's Anne Bonny, who's famous, but a lot of these female pirates often dressed as men or possibly were trans that we don't know about. But
Sure.
it's hard to push a narrative that you want without coming off a little out of sorts, like anachronistic, as you say. I know they wanted to originally just try to adapt an Anne Bonny novel. If they just made a straight Anne Bonny flick, maybe it would have felt more authentic instead of trying to artificially
Make
create a narrative for
yeah,
this woman. Like I almost
and
want her to not be related to Dog, you know?
right, and of course, really, her
But
name's
that
Captain
added
Morgan. Come on.
That's a trifle though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess to your point, Corey, there's if she's not related, does it give her stakes?
I think it would still give her stakes because her father was involved. It would give her a
Yeah.
revenge.
It's her father's rival.
Right, right.
I mean, do you really need anything beyond revenge and monetary gain?
I guess all I wanted was monetary gain. Make her just a commanding pirate that's already established, you know? It seemed like she's trying to make her mark because her father died. Maybe don't have her try to take over her father's ship. Maybe she's already part of the ship, like a captain of the ship. And she
Right.
finds out her father, another pirate, has died. And she's like, we got to go get revenge for my father. And they don't want to. That one tweak gives her more command without her even having to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's get in the time machine.
Yeah,
Back.
I don't like being the person to be like, this is what I would have done.
Sure.
Sometimes I
Yeah,
can't help
well,
it.
we're
you know?
we're directors, so we see this. We're like, if they had just made these little things, but also we don't know what the fuck was going on back then.
Right, yeah. This is what
But
they wanted to do.
it,
So I accept and appreciate what they've made. I still like it.
it was neat, but it was way too long, way too wooden at times, and not just the peg legs.
I did like the fact that Harris Yulin had a peg leg.
Yes,
John Denby's score was pulse pounding. Loved it.
It was.
yes.
That was one of our favorite parts. We kept pointing out to each other while watching.
Oh, we're also forgetting about one of the most important characters that's behind Cory right now. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
The monkey.
The monkey, yeah. I thought you were saying Stan Shaw. We just
Well,
didn't
Stan
mention.
Shaw as well, but
Yeah, Stan Shaw was good. Didn't give him much to do either.
Stan Shaw also, his face red. He was like, "What are we doing?" God damn it, what was the name of the chimp? They
Oh,
put that
shoot.
in to attract the children and the pirates,
They got you.
It did.
Speaking of children, this is one of Chris Masterson's first films, the oldest brother on Malcolm in the Middle. He was
That's
fine.
right.
Oh yeah.
Masterson Commander.
It's funny because I have the picture Jimmy drew of us as pirates in our Pirates of Penzance performance. I was a senior that year. You were a sophomore, or going into junior year,
Yes.
right?
Ooh.
It was
And
04, yeah, so
yeah, and it's
Having
the three of our pirates. I
early.
modeled my pirate after Danny Masterson, so I
imagine
should have
Kevin
known about
Klein.
Cutthroat Island. I would have done Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just
You can still claim that's what it was the whole
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I am a big fan of Cutthroat Island. What were
I
you
was
saying?
never a fan of Danny Masterson at all.
Yeah.
I swear, officer.
Man. Oh, imagine Kevin Klein in that role.
Well, he did Pirates of Penzance.
That's what I mean.
That was actually one of the worst in the line of pirate films. Came out in
There's a
what?
Polanski movie with Walter Matthau called
Yeah.
Pirate.
Yeah. It got totally destroyed
Worse.
because Polanski's trying to run away from America because they're finally trying him for the rape case.
It's all
So the
Wait,
production
Polanski directed that?
Pirates, not Pirates of Penzance. He jumped ahead.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
There's too
yeah.
many fucking pirate
Yeah, I
movies.
was about to say Pirates of Penzance itself
Yep.
only made $695,000. The Pirates movie that Polanski did, called Pirates, made 1.6 million domestic. Still made six worldwide, but on a budget of like 70. You have
There's,
Nate and Hayes, which barely came out with Tommy Lee
I heard
Jones.
that was good.
Made a million. I bought it. I was gonna try and watch it before this, but I ran out of time. Yellowbeard came out the same year. Both were 83. It's kind of like a Monty Python type. That
It is
actually
my
made
it's
well,
good.
it made a bid. It made 4 million, which is not still not good. And then
But
there's the pirate movie with Christopher Atkins of the Blue Lagoon, a modern day pirate film where Christy
yikes.
McNichol plays a fan of pirates and finds out there's a pirate convention in like a random town in Australia and goes there. Her name is also Mabel, and she's swept up in this actual pirate adventure that's
So it's
sort of based
Galaxy
on
Quest
pirates.
with pirates?
Right,
Ooh,
but bad, and it actually made 9 million, which is not much at all. This came in 11th its first week, which is
sorry.
horrible. It wasn't even the best film, the best new film of the week. There were six other things that came, or no, nine other things that came out this week. It was sixth of them. It was
Wow.
below Dracula Dead and Loving It, which tells you a lot.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's not a
Good.
good film.
It
It's also
yeah,
kind of killed Mel
they
Brooks's career.
they couldn't like
The worst movie.
decide what they wanted to do with it. Because at one point I'm like, this feels like they're trying to remake Hamlet on the high seas.
Yeah, dramatic.
But then it was just like the tone wasn't consistent.
Yeah, they also have things like Maury Shaken bumbling it up. He seemed like a Dom DeLuise type.
Yes.
He's
And
good.
What did we
he totally took you out of it when he bumbled his way around. And he knew he was going to betray them immediately. Like,
Yeah,
he
called
didn't even
that.
try to hide that. If they
Uh,
wanted to, they'd mess that up. I don't know. I was soured on Shaken's character. Cool idea to have an author trying to write a novel on pirates in the time of pirates, but
Yeah. Langella's character seemed like they wanted Sean Connery.
yeah.
But it was funny because we were talking about futuristic ad stuff before. When Tristan and I were watching it, there were commercial breaks, and at one point, she gets shot in the abdomen, and also just kind of like, waves it off like she
She
doesn't.
fights for another 20
She
minutes.
fights for another 20 minutes before she like even starts to show pain. I'm like, good for you, girl. But
It was all
immediately after
costume
she got
change.
shot, it goes to a break for I don't know some medication for abdominal discomfort. It was like
Yeah,
who's
they
programming
know.
this?
Yeah, that was really funny.
Algorithm, they saw that.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It's an
And
old Rambo trope though, so they probably took that from
It's
us.
all
actually, yeah, funny enough, because they
it's
have all the Rambo films.
it's like
Yeah.
2 seconds away from someone on screen offering her some Pepto-Bismol.
Right. That was one of the weirdest things, that she gets shot in the abdomen. She has a whole costume change and then collapses on the bridge. I guess
Yeah.
that shows power, but like
Yeah, but
there's a logistical thing. There's some stuff missing in the production. That's
because
that's what I think I'm
she
talking
had
about.
to time her collapse so that Modine could be on the boat
To
to
swoon.
just to be the surgeon.
See?
And then like
Yeah.
take the
Think,
bullet
oh,
out and then make out with her. Like what do we
Yeah. There's a good film in here, I gotta say, but things like that, born of the production
they
issues, sink it a little bit.
they needed trailer footage.
Yeah.
worked.
It's not like it's a first draft. It's like they're on the seventh draft and they couldn't make an eighth, so they couldn't refine what they were making. Unfortunately, I think there's something here. Like it obviously is a cult classic. You love it, right, Corey?
I don't know if I love it, but I like it.
I'm like in the middle. Like I like much of it, but the holes are too glaring for me to put this too high.
It's
Unfortunately,
funny because we also did Congo earlier this year. In terms of guilty pleasure disasters. I think I like that better.
Yeah, I like Congo better. I like it better than I'd remembered. So it's interesting because that's also one of the five directors that was nominated for the Razzie.
Oh, Frank
Frank
Marshall.
Marshall, yeah. But we managed to cover two out of our 12 episodes are Razzie directors. But that's the point of Hidden Gems. I really think this is truly the point of our podcast was to do Cutthroat Island. Like I'm very happy with what we have done, going through Carol Co., thinking about what they accomplished and killed them in the end, shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, there's so much talk about the budget being overinflated and all those rumors swirling around about the troubled production that people forgot to think about quality of the film itself.
Yeah, I want to admire the production design. I want to admire the cinematography and the music.
Yeah.
Like all these
Seems like,
aspects are good about it. It is always a
yeah.
shame when we shoulder the blame with just the front-facing people.
Right.
Because even Geena Davis is often doing a good job. Matthew Modine's trying his best, which is kind of a backhanded compliment, but I do like him in other things, and I think he, in a tighter production, would have knocked it out of the park, especially if he was someone's first choice.
And Frank Langella's doing a great job.
Right. Any other tidbits? Did you look up the trivia on IMDb, Jeff?
I was, yes. Nothing that really jumped out other than what I talked about. Oliver Reed was originally cast as Mordecai. He was caught in a bar fight and allegedly attempting to moon Geena Davis.
Hell yeah.
Got fired.
Classic Oliver Reed story.
Exactly.
As you do.
Wasn't the first cinematographer.
This film is often blamed for killing the pirate movie.
Yeah, actually, I was going to bring this up. When they went to put Pirates of the Caribbean into production, they were so scared of doing it, they wanted to send it straight to video because they're like, our prospects for this are so low based on those 6 films that we mentioned, especially Cutthroat Island, that we should just put this to home video. And they were going to get McConaughey, who was kind of on the downslide as he was doing rom-coms. They didn't think he could bolster a film. They had Walken on standby because he'd just done Country Bears, which also they're like, look at the theme park aspect that we just put a film in and it barely made any money.
Yeah.
Barely.
It was not looking good for Pirates of the Caribbean. And I remember, or I read a quote that Eisner walked in, looked at the production design, and she's like, these are very good, but can we not make it like these other films? Why are we spending this much money on a pirate movie? They're going to totally bomb like the others. And Bruckheimer's like, you got your competitors spending $150 million on the Matrix sequels. You got to put something in to make the money. And the linchpin wasn't even that. It wasn't the confidence in itself, but the writers did something different than all these films have done. And I realized this as we're watching Cutthroat Island. The key to Pirates of the Caribbean is that they had the supernatural element. The fact that that one ship is full of ghosts. I think that drew so many people in and kept them coming back for more, which is what helps make its money. Because that budget, well inflated, needed the repeat viewings, the hit it became. I think is because of Jeffrey Rush more than anything else, weirdly enough. At least the character too. So
Right.
that's just my theory on it. You know, like these films are probably all fine. Like we like Cutthroat Island, even with its disaster of a production. But I'll probably like Nathan Hayes fine. But you add that one sweetener, I think that's where you get the hit.
Also, those two writers in particular are very adept at blockbuster writing. You know, the comedy and the action. Because they had also done Mask of Zorro. Very good.
You know, Frank Langella was born in Bayonne. Huh.
Yeah, he's our neighbor.
He's a Jersey boy. Yeah, they should have known that this was not going to go well when they filmed at the same studio where box office bombs Orca, Raise the Titanic, and Popeye were shot.
Oh yeah, they're shot in Malta
I made
too.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know at the time they thought it was a trouble production, but Popeye did pull itself out, right?
That's still in Malta, by the way. That's set.
Yeah, they left it. You can go visit Popeye set.
Nice.
It-
I kind of want to go there because now it's been a couple of there have been a couple of Jurassic World films
It's
there
on the list.
and Popeye.
Yeah.
Now I'd be interested in seeing if Cutthroat Island's spots are still there, like where they're doing the carriage chase. I think is Malta.
I'm sure
I know.
some
I
restaurants
liked
got
that stuff.
a plaque. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Some restaurants got a plaque somewhere that said, Matthew Modine fell from a window in this exact location.
Right.
Meryl Streep was almost Morgan though.
Really, I missed that when I was
Yeah.
looking around.
Actually might have been kind of good.
Yeah, and it's a period at which she could have
It
wanted
was
to do this.
Scheduling
Wild.
conflicts.
Yeah. Yeah, remember how we were saying in that River Wild episode, she had her one action film, has never really done it again. This could have continued that. She could have become like a Sigourney Weaver type.
Yeah.
That's interesting to think about.
The trajectory of her career, how it would have gone.
Yeah.
Alternate history.
Imagine Michael Douglas and Meryl Streep in this.
Actually, you know what? It's sad that they're probably estranged at this point, but if her ex-husband Jeff Goldblum was the co-lead,
Yeah.
oh, that
What
would have
I've
been
read isn't that it was too acrimonious, but I don't know. I
yeah,
remember it being so at the time, so I think
right.
they scrubbed the internet of that because maybe they didn't have any info on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
if that relationship collapsed in a Twitter or TikTok world, that would have been spicy. I
so
did
we
point out
went.
to Jeff, I'm sad that Geena Davis's career kind of plummeted, but he didn't realize that there had been time in
No, a lot of TV
between.
shows.
Well, she did the Geena Davis show like 5 years later. There's a period of time she takes off, and Commander in Chief is like, oh, five. This is 10 years later, you know,
What is it? Long Kiss Goodnight was a
the next
career
year.
high. I didn't do that great either. So
Yeah. I could use a comeback for her. She was in Blink twice. Put her as a supporting actress in a bunch of movies. I'd love that.
yeah,
Same
just
with
trying to
Matthew
get.
Modine.
His daughter was just in a movie that came out this past week.
The Silent Night, Deadly Night remake.
Yeah,
Oh. I mean, he was busy trying to be the president of SAG for a while.
you want to give grades?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go E minus
He said
because
it's so
yes,
good. Okay.
Was it B minus? Is that what you said?
You never
oh
go
yeah,
higher than that.
no, no,
He's got
no.
very high standards.
Yeah, in terms of my glistening trash, this is like it's got a glint. It's enjoyably bombastic, but like you said, there's some structural issues and miscasting that hold it back from being like top tier guilty pleasure. But I still enjoy it when I watch it because there's still ingredients and elements that are dazzling in this. The stunt work, all the production stuff is top notch. It's just on a script level and a casting level, it could have been a little better.
Yeah. I was probably going to give it a B minus two, but I thought I was going to be below you. So that's why I was like, huh, okay. Maybe that means I would give it a C plus as well, like somewhere on the cusp of C.
Okay.
I wish I
Because
could
there are
give it
still
seven
glaring holes.
C's.
Yeah, you do that. You give it seven C's.
I give it seven C's.
Yes.
I don't have anything else to say now. That was too good.
That's it. It was.
Yeah, we already said what we were gonna
That's
say. We
it.
don't have
It
to
was.
reiterate what we were.
Okay. So actually, yeah, a lot of movies came out in December.
Oh,
I,
true.
we want to do an honorable mention for one of Tristan's childhood favorites,
That's true.
animated film that was both filmed in Central Park and animated somehow.
hmm This
Exactly.
is the Statue of Balto that bookends the animated film Balto. What happened for me was that this film started the tradition of my parents and I going to the theaters on Christmas itself. Because I was a big fan of dogs, they thought I'd like this. So, as a treat after we open our presents or whatever, they're like, we're going to go see Balto. They got me this poster that's in my bedroom in the next room. I'm at my dad's house now, and I still have the poster up above my bed from 1995. So it's a 30-year-old poster almost. This statue was dedicated. Actually, we're recording on December 13th. This will come out next week, probably. So by the 19th. The 17th is the 100th anniversary of this statue being built. So last week I happened to be running in Central Park and got a
Oh yeah.
picture in front of the Balto statue. So, but this started the tradition. They gave me that poster, and it is one of my favorite animated films. I haven't watched it in about 20 years. I've watched it a bunch, but we put it in the rotation in the summer with
Sounds like it's high
Jumanji and
time.
Aladdin and Homeward Bound as ones my mom and I would watch on VHS around the time school would end. I think this is one of my favorite films, but I have nostalgia glasses on, so I don't know how it holds up, Corey.
I don't think it holds up. I think Bob Hoskins is really good as a sidekick, the seagull.
Mm-hmm.
The live action bookend segments is just incongruous and
Yeah, I knew that
compatible.
then, but it did make me want to go find it in New York because I knew we were close.
Right. I could see why it holds a near and dear place in your heart, though.
I just love dogs.
Bacon's good.
Yeah, the plot is basically, since we didn't really mention, it's Balto himself, the real dog, was the lead of a pack of sled dogs that got badly needed medicine to the city of Nome that was packed in by snow in 1925. Diphtheria was raging, and so this solo trip got them there. So they've quoted Balto as being the one that made sure the team got there. And they manufacture this story of a half husky, half wolf named Balto.
Ooh.
They claim that that's what he was. I don't know how accurate it is, or it's just a symbol of all dogs that helped in Alaska, you know?
Did they
It's sort
interview
of
the
that.
original dog to
I'm sure
research?
they did. I couldn't find the articles, but
Okay.
They
I
barked no
wouldn't I wouldn't put it past them. I know you're making a joke, but they interviewed the last surviving member of the Custer's Last Stand, which was a horse. There's a real article out there about that. So
I think I've read that article actually.
yeah, so I wouldn't put it past them to interview Balto.
fraud. Rin Tin Tin said he was a fraud.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the time around Rin Tin Tin was alive, actually. He's a World War One dog.
I did know him once. That is, our paths did cross in school. Balto v. Rin Tin Tin, Dawn of Justice.
No one asked for this.
Dude, they got to put that in production now.
I'm gonna make a list for the end of our podcast of films Jeff and I have made up that never came to fruition.
It's going on the future list.
So you actually mentioned my number 7, which is Jumanji.
Yeah, I know you don't love Jumanji.
Oh my God. I love
I think
Jumanji.
there's been a few times where they remade something and made it better.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Jungle is infinitely better in mine.
Well, wasn't Welcome to the Jungle a sequel to the sequel?
It is.
Or no?
It is
Yeah.
actually a sequel.
Okay, so it's actually a sequel, yes, because they do mention Alan.
And BB Newirth even shows up in the second sequel with
That's
The
right.
Rock and Jack Black and such.
I remember loving Jumanji. That
I did
was-
mention that it was in the rotation for the summer. It is probably the film I like the most of those rotation films. It
I'm
is
sorry.
the warmest blanket film for me. It's my favorite Robin Williams film.
Oh my-
I definitely have nostalgia glasses for it, but I don't see any issue with it. I can step back and I mean, I just said I have nostalgia glasses, so maybe I can't step back, but I don't see why you hate it so much. But
I think the special effects are dated now. They don't hold up. It's overproduced. Robin Williams is doing a lot of his shtick, which
That's why
dominates.
people hire him. He
right. I'd
exists.
also argue he's dialed it
Uh,
down in this as compared to some other films around this era, like
The
Hook and
beautiness-
Patch Adams.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to invalidate your argument,
Yeah.
Now you're right.
but you're
But-
just wrong.
Well, I want to have a discussion
You know
about it.
another thing, and this seems to be a problem with most movies of this ilk, is, and Sonic is guilty of it to a lesser extent. I want to go into the world of the game.
No,
I
that's fair.
perfectly understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as a child, I was accepting this, but yeah, the TV show, the animated show they made after, does go into the game and sort of scratches that itch. And so do the sequels. So I think that's kind of what you wanted. So I completely
Yeah.
understand why you like Welcome to the Jungle more than this. Your exact arguments for why it isn't good or why I like it. And I think both points are valid.
Jumanji also opened up two things in my brain. One, this fascination with like collector's editions of board games, because I'm like, I wanted that game with like the carved wood and everything,
Very
and
tactile.
maybe not the Magic Sphere, but they did release a game, and for years it was just like this cardboard one. They didn't
Yeah, it's
actually
not
have
good.
like a nice sculpted one until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But it also opened up a new fear where I would just get trapped in a board game, and I started thinking about which board game, like what would happen if I got trapped in certain board games. I mean, we already are trapped in Monopoly, but you know, so these are the things I think about. Like, what if you got trapped in, I don't
This
know,
is-
Connect Four? Like, this is
the second time in like 3 months that you've mentioned a new fear. I feel like 1995 was a rough time for you.
I was
You're-
8 years old, and it was, you know,
You're Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Everything jumps you.
basically. I have an overactive imagination. That's
Yeah,
kind of an
doesn't
issue.
surprise me.
Shit,
Anywho,
this is-
I want to
Sorry.
say something about the actual film. I think it's one of the best children performances. The real thing for me is that Kirsten Dunst really sells her character. She's a little shit, and she tries to manipulate every adult around her, and she gets away with it until she comes up to Bonnie Hunt, who is the best character of this film. She gives one of the best performances. She was ruined as a child by Alan getting sucked into the game, and then has to deal with all her trauma, and then it comes back for her. And despite all the ridiculous CGI, which I also actually agree with you on that point, it has not aged well. She grows in her journey. They all start to accept their problems, both the two children and the adults. But it has such a satisfying denouement that's what sold it for me. It's really Kirsten Dunst and Bonnie Hunt more than anything else. Ignoring Robin Williams' shtick, ignoring the weird CGI. And yes, I agree with you on a lot of points of like, it's a little hammy. It doesn't need to be in the real world. There's probably other things like, I don't know what else you don't like, but
I think
I
it
would
takes
get it forever.
for the game aspect to come into play.
Yeah, it's like a half an hour before we really even open it up.
I timed is 40 minutes.
Oh,
Is it like a 90-minute movie?
I think we both can be right about
No,
this.
I mean,
I look forward to talking about Lost World and both being right about that.
vast contrast from that movie. Jane Austen adaptation came out this month that was nominated for Best Screenplay, which is Sense and Sensibility, which is actually directed by Ang Lee, who's like a journeyman director. He's done so many genres in his career, and you wouldn't think he'd be the first choice for a Jane Austen adaptation.
Yeah, what had he done before this? It was just his
I think it was Eat, Drink,
Man Woman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was his calling card, and this must have been his first English language film.
right.
Really cemented him as one of the up and coming directors of the 90s.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
He's basically his direction's anonymous for the most part, which you would need for something like this because it's a costume dramedy. Also, I think it introduced me to Hugh Grant even more so than Four Weddings and a Funeral. And Emma Thompson's transliteration of the novel is superb. I think it cemented her as a really good screenwriter.
For sure. Didn't she win for this?
She did,
That's good, yeah.
rightfully so.
Yeah, she's done a couple other writing,
She's written the Nanny McPhee movies.
I believe she has, yeah. It's funny, I didn't even realize Hugh Grant was in this. I've never seen it.
Oh, okay, it's really good.
I think of it as Alan Rickman, but that's because he's the other
Alan
guy in it.
Rickman
Yeah, I
too.
just went to look at like who's the guy in it then? This is what cemented Kate Winslet as well. Like she goes from this to Titanic. This is really what brought her to the forefront of cinema.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, check it out. One of my least favorite genres in film is the inspirational teacher genre. Probably my favorite of that genre is the movie I'm about to talk about, which is Mr. Holland's Opus.
Ooh.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
I ran out of time to try and catch up on these that you were going to discuss, unfortunately.
I think it's what kind of how you felt about Renaissance Man. It was one of the few movies that the passion that in which the teacher talks about the subject stirs me up. Like when he's talking about music, he's making it applicable to all the students, even the students in the audience. Richard Dreyfuss. So I think he gives a phenomenal performance.
I hear this is great.
Kind of underrated now, I feel like.
Yeah, we could have covered this. This, I think, was our other choice for December, actually, one of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a better film, so we wanted to talk about Carol Co., of course. This was earmarked since the beginning.
Yeah, because this got great reviews when it came out.
Holland's did, yeah.
Yeah. It also has a supporting role from Jay Thomas, who's normally in sitcom roles, and he was a radio host. He used to go on Letterman every year to knock the matzo ball off the top of the tree. He's since passed away, but he's really good in the supporting role. One of the first times I think I've seen William H. Macy in a film. He's like the shop teacher. But yeah, this is on Disney Plus. If anybody wants to watch it, I highly recommend it. So speaking of Bruce Willis,
Oh, right.
my favorite Terry Gilliam movies came out this month, which is 12 Monkeys.
Have you ever seen 12 Monkeys, Jeff?
I have actually.
Oh, good, okay. Because this is a
That one I saw.
spoilerific movie.
That one I watched in college actually.
Sweet.
One of the few movies where like
It was required viewing. I got college credit for watching that movie.
Hell yeah.
they sprinkle those red herrings at the beginning, and you're like, I wonder where this is going. And the movie doesn't really coalesce until the last 5 minutes. Everything comes together perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a jigsaw puzzle of a film.
It really is kind of a perfect film in a way because I hated it watching it. And then that final 5 minutes, you get everything finally, and you're like, oh, I see why he was making me go through that journey.
I think that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Like
Like, I like it.
I like when it all
I
ties
actually
in
haven't seen it
together.
again, but I know that I would like it more on a second viewing.
I rewatched it for the podcast, and I think it holds up.
Hell yeah.
I did not realize it was Terry Gilliam, but that makes a lot of sense now.
There's a lot of Dutch angles, a lot of fisheye lens.
Yeah, I was rolling my eyes at first. I got into it. I do like it.
Brad Pitt's doing a very overamped performance.
Gets his first Oscar nomination for that though, somehow.
Right. Honestly, I think Bruce Willis is kind of underrated in the movie because he's the anchor.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of great male performances, Dead Man Walking came out this month, which is probably Tim Robbins' most accomplished effort behind the camera. He also wrote the screenplay. And it's basically a movie about capital punishment.
Yeah, Death Row.
Yeah,
Dead
Death
Man
Row.
Walking.
Yeah, but the good thing is it's egalitarian in its treatment. You see both sides of the argument. It doesn't feel slanted in any way. I think he gives a really good performance, Sean Penn, as the man on death row, and Susan Sarandon, who was married to, or they were just
They were
dating.
together by then, I believe. We mentioned that when we were talking about it last month, I think.
Yeah.
Or I at least read it. So I'm pretty sure you're right.
Bull Durham is when they got together, I think.
Yeah.
But Susan Sarandon gives a really good performance too. It's a heavy drama, so you gotta go in there knowing that. But well worth watching. A director who's usually known for being a muckracker also did a film this month about a ignoble president named Nixon.
Ah.
We've been talking about underappreciated movies. I think it's one of the more underappreciated movies of Oliver Stone's career. I think it's great. I don't think Anthony Hopkins is a dead ringer for Nixon physically, but I still think he gives a like chameleonic performance. He totally sublimates into Millhouse. And I think actually for a character who in history has been kind of gone down as infamous, I think it makes him more sympathetic, kind of like what he did with W.
It's interesting that Oliver Stone likes to do that.
Yeah.
This was another film that Synergy had.
Okay, yeah.
On Andrew Vanya. It's
What
funny
did you
they're up
think?
against each other. I've never seen Nixon, so
I know.
there were five
Okay.
films I wanted to try and watch, and I didn't get to any of them.
I have a feeling though that you've seen my number one movie.
Mm.
It's Michael Mann's Heat.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's required viewing for any film buffs
Right.
these days. It's supposed to be one of the best crime dramas ever.
It's fantastic. And it's influenced so many movies that people love nowadays. Like
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan's going on record as saying The Dark Knight was heavily in by Heat, and you can
For
see
sure.
it there.
Yeah.
Very sleek. Michael Mann has a very distinct style. He does very lyrical crime dramas, and he's very well researched, as you can tell from like Miami Vice and stuff like that. He also takes two iconic actors who hadn't acted on screen before. They've been in the same movies before,
Mm-hmm.
but they had to screen before.
Of their
And he
generation.
yeah, and he makes you wait about an hour and a half for a diner scene between the two of them, and it's scintillating
Yeah,
dialogue, by
that's
the
the
way.
best part of the movie.
I'm hard pressed to say what the best part is because every aspect of the movie is great,
You
but
and
in terms
I, we're not too different.
the
I don't know. I
yeah,
can't quote shit.
I was gonna say it basically comes down to that, but the dialogue is so poetic and florid.
Have you ever seen
And
Heat, Jeff?
Nope.
Yeah, you
and
should put that on the list. It's as integral to cinephiles as 12 Monkeys is.
right.
So, if nothing else, you legitimately should at least put it on the list for someday.
And they're
Yeah, I
also
could watch
now
this.
talking about a sequel slash prequel that he's trying to get off the ground.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I don't know.
If he gets the cast that he wants, I'm definitely interested. And honestly, who am I to say that he can't direct anymore? Because he just did Ferrari, which I really liked.
Yeah, I think he's still a good director. I just don't know that we needed a prequel. I think everyone wants to see more of their favorite film. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so that's
I
all
want
this
to know
is.
more lore.
Right. So, but then Val Kilmer's gone, and if you're making them younger, obviously the actors you liked from that original film can't be those characters. So I don't know
Sure.
that it's necessary. It's like,
So,
I don't know. That was your number one, right?
That was my number one.
Okay. Let's head over to Poster Boy.
oh boy, I'm awake again. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
All right, so it's a white background with a man leaning on something, probably someone's shoulder that you can't see. He's got like a James Bond getup, but his face has been edited out.
So what
And
tuxedo?
overlooking them is a pale woman's face with bright red lips and a black hat. Very, very Melania Trump coded right now.
Haunting. Yeah.
Um,
This is not Powder 2. They did not make a sequel 2 months later.
okay, I wasn't sure the way they were
And this
cranking
is
these out.
not a Resident Evil 8
Uh,
adaptation
that was gonna
20
be
years early.
well, I think Resident Evil 8 was an adaptation of whatever the hell this is.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I wish. That'd be
so
funny.
I want to say it's not Pierce Brosnan.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna have you guess who that is. I think next I actually have the tagline. So try to
It's
make up a film based on just this
Kevin
because there's nothing
Bacon.
else. You can guess the person in a second if you want to keep guessing, but
Oh, make up what the okay. I
yeah,
mean, this
this
is
is all you
clearly like
got.
this is almost like an Invisible Woman type thing, but it's just a behind every man is a powerful woman.
So he's maybe a
That
politician.
yeah, I think it's some sort of politician or sort of like a reverse Q situation, like like he's a secret agent,
Like
but
the winged
she's
serpent.
she's the woman
Oh,
behind the yeah,
I
or
gotcha.
she's the villain, or this is like maybe an adaptation of The Shadow, like
I know they're doing a play
We
on
already talked about
something
that.
else, but
yeah.
this does make her look too villainous.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
it's clearly some sort of affair movie.
Okay, it is a romance. I'm not trying to get you to get what this film is because this poster gives you nothing. But I admire your attempt to be like, this is like a power play movie. She's the woman behind the politician. I would
Yeah,
I would accept that.
and he's like clearly leaning on. He's either checking his watch, but he can't because his cuff's not up high enough. So he's probably leaning on either his best buddy or someone
Or
who,
the title.
or a dog or the title.
Yeah, that's what's missing.
Totally break the fourth wall. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as am I trying to guess
Yeah,
who
why
this
don't
is?
you come up with a tagline for your film, just for bonus points that you've come up with, and then we'll give you the plot of this film, and then you'll guess who the actor is.
She always knows.
Okay.
She sees you when you're sleeping. Knows when
That
you're
looks
awake.
like an erotic thriller, doesn't it?
Right, it does.
Right?
It does a little bit, and I want to say it's like Meryl Streep, but it's not.
So the plot of this film, this is actually a remake of a classic film starring Audrey Hepburn, where she's the daughter of a rich man's chauffeur.
Brunch at Tiffany's.
And yeah, and he never notices her because he's rich. And she's in love with the main character who's played by what's his
Richard
face?
Gere.
No, no,
William
no.
Holt.
William Holden. It's William Holden in the original.
Yeah, isn't it?
Humphrey Bogart is who I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
She falls
well,
for Humphrey Bogart's brother, played by William Holden.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that got remade in 95 with two leading actors that are very famous. One up and coming in the William Holden role and one wildly famous in the Humphrey Bogart role. And then a woman they were trying to push as like the next leading lady. She had been in Legends of the Fall, I think, was the movie the year before she was in. I forgot to look up what else she was in, but she never really got huge. She's in a solid amount of movies.
Oh,
in
she's
the
in
90s.
first.
She's in First Night, yeah. But I don't think you'd remember her anyway, so.
Yeah.
But that's the plot. She's a chauffeur's daughter who falls for the younger brother, but is noticed by the older brother, and then they get a romance going. It's like a Prince and the Pauper romance more than anything.
Gotcha.
It's fine. The original is
No,
much
like,
better.
Not quite Pygmalion, but
It's infinitely better.
Yeah, I saw this like 15 years ago and hated it. I watched the original a couple years ago, much, much, much better. So, knowing that, what would you come up with as a sub or a tagline? Take into account
he's got
that
everything she wants, and he doesn't even know. I don't know.
Okay, that's not bad actually. No, that's solid for your 90s.
Yeah, sure.
He has
Yeah.
everything she wants, and so does his brother.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you got the idea.
Yeah.
No, that's not
got
funny. It's not funny, but neither is this one.
You are cordially invited to the most surprising merger of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sure. Because he's like an investment banker, which barely comes into the plot. I think he's trying to get his brother to take over the company so that he can
Gotcha.
retire. Like, who
That's it.
cares?
Strangely,
I'm
more-
gonna try to guess who it is.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen.
Nope.
Scott Bakula.
Nope.
Apparently
Kevin
it does have
Bacon.
one scene. I can see why I thought that.
Yeah, the hair's
Kevin
the hair's got
Bacon.
a sheen.
Yes.
Charlie,
It could be Charlie. They have the same hair.
Could you imagine? I don't think it's.
Emilio.
Honestly, it wouldn't have
It's
been
none of them
surprising to
Sheen.
put Charlie Sheen in this.
Bill Pullman.
Good guess.
Bill Paxton.
That looks like his hair too.
Yeah, I took
All right,
away his
I'm
jawline.
going
a
off.
little.
I'm going off the hair. That's all I got.
Yeah.
It's not Pierce Brosnan. It's not
But think bigger though.
Yeah,
I
like
think
biggest star.
Johnny Depp.
No, not big yet.
See, I don't know.
He got big
1996.
from Pirates.
I mean, I'm sure I'll kick myself on it. Harrison Ford.
there we are.
Was it? Oh,
Yes,
all right.
there you go.
Cool.
In glasses.
Ooh, sophisticated.
Yeah, because he's a banker.
Oh, I get it.
Anyway, do you know that
Awesome.
film based on the plot? Have you
So
heard of
then,
it? It was just her name.
No.
Okay.
It's Audrey.
No, it's not Audrey.
Well, no,
the
because
movie.
the face looks like Audrey Tautou, but that's way too early for her
That's
to
really funny.
be involved.
No, it's Julie Ormond.
Oh, yeah, no, I never would have guessed
You'd
that.
never get that. I don't. You've never heard of her, right?
I've heard the name, but I've never seen a damn thing with her.
She was in Curious Case of Benjamin Button later in a pretty decent role,
Okay,
but that was more
well,
of a comeback
that was
attempt than anything else because
15
she
years
kind of
ago.
flatlined after Sabrina. Anyway, what would you call this plot if you didn't just name it after the main character for bonus points?
License to Thrill. I don't.
You're stuck on Pierce Brosnan.
I don't know. Sabrina. Okay, yeah, I don't.
Have you ever heard of Sabrina?
Nope.
Okay.
Just the
It's-
Teenage Witch.
Ironically, it's one of the lesser Audrey Hepburn films, I think, at this point. And
One of my favorites though.
it's forgotten for the remake, too. The less
Yeah.
talked about, the better.
They played the brother.
Who plays
Who
the brother?
plays the brother? Take a guess.
Oh.
Up and coming actor wins or is nominated
Yeah.
for an Oscar soon.
He was a
Brad
talk
Pitt.
host for a little bit.
Good
Conan
guess.
O'Brien.
Same time. Okay.
Gary Shandling.
Nope.
Up and coming was a talk show host at one time
think that-
before this or after?
Dory?
Before. Dory, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
I think he lasted until 97. Then when
Joel-
did Joel
Joel
replace him?
McHale. Oh wait. Oh yeah. No. So it was who did Talk Soup? I don't know.
I knew the show.
David Cross. No. Bob
Nope.
Odenkirk. I don't remember.
Greg Kinnear.
It's in my brain.
Not good in this either, unfortunately.
Actually, he's better than Harrison Ford.
I don't know. They're all rough. They all seem like they're taking a vacation.
All right.
Good, you took the
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not much to this. This is just another one.
This just
and
seems like
an excuse to get another film in.
yeah. So it's a bellboy
Yep.
with his face blurred out.
Sure.
And a bunch of hands coming at him. One clearly a child, one pointing a gun, and a woman's hand with a bunch of bracelets, another woman's hand with handcuffs.
Yeah, he's
Leads me to
handcuffed
believe
to
they're
her.
two different women.
They have to
It's
be.
not the same person.
Yeah. So there are how many
Uh,
people?
There are 5.
Getting at him.
Possibly getting at him, possibly 5. Because
The two children's hands.
Four or
Yeah,
five.
get
I
it.
think
There are five
children's
hands on
hand
the
might be
screen.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Okay.
I think.
Fine.
I can't
Fine.
tell. No, they're both right hands. Ugh, yeah, never mind.
So it's Ted. I want to guess, is this Antonio Banderas?
No, I blurred
No.
out his name is to the left of Antonio is that
Ah.
actor. So I was going to have you ask who that actor is, but also from this poster, much like Sabrina, I just want you to make a movie up. Like, I'm not trying to get you to guess this film.
So this is some bellhop who everybody thinks steals all of their shit. He's an undercover cop working as a bellhop, trying to get back stolen goods from a bunch of people in this upscale yet seedy motel.
Okay.
Sort of like a comic version of John Wick.
Okay. I like that. I would put a little bit of money down for you.
What is it actually?
It's a good enough guess. What do you think of the actor as Corey tells us what the film's about?
Ted, I mean, my first guess would be like Eddie Murphy again, but
Nope.
I cannot tell.
Less melanin.
Okay.
Yeah, his hand is in shadow.
NPH. No,
Too young. He's still on duty at this time.
Well, I wish
Oh yeah. Who the hell played Phil Dunphy in
He's not big yet.
Okay.
I don't know what hint I would even give him for this.
Steve Martin,
Not
Robin
least,
Williams,
this is a cop.
Charlton Heston,
Well,
Jaleel White.
The
No.
next thing would actually help because this actor was in
Oh yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
I
just took that out to have an extra element. I was gonna guess if you kind of like if you were given the plot.
Steve Buscemi, Bruce Willis, Quentin Tarantino.
Just naming the cast, aren't you?
Basically.
Come on, honey bunny.
Travolta.
He just gave you a hint.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
You remember the beginning of Pulp Fiction?
No, because it's a non-linear story. Everything is the beginning in my.
Okay,
Ah.
I'm trying to
fair.
remember it.
Okay, the wraparound.
Oh God, I don't
Does
know.
that help?
It's gonna no.
Remember the
No,
diner?
fuck. Who is the guy? He just died recently.
Nope.
Still alive.
No. Okay, this guy's still alive.
Yeah. Who did die recently?
It was Reservoir Dogs, Mr.
Madsen.
Yeah, Madsen.
Yeah.
No.
Um,
They're about the same
uh,
age.
yeah. Eli Roth or
Close.
Eli whatever.
Roth was-
the other Roth. Yeah, there it is. Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. There you go.
And this is
No,
I want to no. This is this 4 rooms?
Yes. Good
Oh
job.
yeah.
Oh, I had the tagline, I guess.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
look at
this actually.
You've seen 4 Rooms?
Yes.
Yeah.
This isn't the traditional poster, which isn't much better. It has the whole cast sitting there on luggage with him. Check in this fall. 4 Rooms.
Yeah.
I like that little lock in the O. What would you do as a better tagline? Because I don't like check in this fall. I mean, it's too easy.
Hang on, give me a second. Room service is coming.
Room service is
Room
underrated.
service is on its way. Some
that's
other
fine.
hotel upon. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they probably do that with Hotel for Dogs.
Check
right?
in, but you don't check out. I'm trying to think of a lift pun.
It's okay.
I don't know.
You're sputtering.
It was
It's okay.
that was the one where it was like an anthology, but they're all connected by
Somewhere.
this one guy, right?
Yeah. So that's why one's handcuffed to him, one's trying to flirt with him,
You don't remember
one's
how you felt
got a
about
gun
the,
on him.
You don't remember how you felt about the movie, Jeff?
I remember liking it. I remember.
maybe go
I think
rewatch-
it's one of Jen's favorite movies, actually.
I hope not. I watched this for the podcast. It's excruciatingly bad.
I almost watched it.
It is awful. And the Tarantino segment, which is the last one, because it's the one that everybody's been waiting for, according to Quentin, is just so self-aggrandizing. It's obnoxious.
Of course, it's the only thing I have left to watch of his.
It's probably the worst thing he's ever done.
Great. Cool.
Sweet.
Good timing, though, for him to call out Paul Dano, of all people, and then have made this.
Yeah, and he's in this segment playing himself, basically, and he's not a great actor.
Yeah. I don't think that's a hot take.
I'd rather see Matthew Lillard in that role. How about
I'm
that?
honestly, I think he's lucky he did what he did in Pulp Fiction because he pulls that off okay enough. But
I wonder
Harvey Keitel keeps him solid.
Playing a bigot in that role, is he not?
In
Oh, he's
Pulp Fiction,
yeah, and he's good in From Dusk Till Dawn because he's playing a creep.
didn't have to stretch.
Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, we wanted to do something different a little bit for our picks of the month this time around. Given that Cutthroat Island is infamous for being a box office bomb, we wanted to present to you our worst film we've ever seen in theaters. I wish Jimmy could chime in on this, but I'll try to text him so he can actually have an answer.
I've seen a couple really bad movies with you, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see
Master of-
anything. So
I know the one you're probably gonna mention.
Oh, I should do the other one, yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I guess I should do that. You can have. What are you gonna say, Jeff?
Master of Disguise.
That was a
Okay.
bad experience.
It's not
It
even a
was
film.
A
Yeah,
horrific.
we felt like we wasted money on that.
It was like sitting in Dana Carvey's brain for way too long.
Ugh.
I
He's
don't-
so conversationally funny. How come he can't have a starring vehicle that's any good?
He would have been a good host of a talk show.
Yeah.
He should do.
Didn't he
should
have
have
one?
He has a
Lot.
podcast,
No.
so that's
It's not the
fine.
same.
It's same, but not quite.
It's him and Spade.
Yeah, but I want to see him, you know? He's so animated. He'd be good
Well,
as
it's
like
a
Conan's
video game.
successor.
Who did he play recently? Because SNL brought him back for some
He was back
politician. I can't
for
remember.
Biden.
Was it
Yeah.
Biden? Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. He's slowing down, man.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
But he was indeed not turtly enough for the Turtle Club. It's the one
Rough.
fucking thing anybody remembers from that movie. God, it was the first movie that I'm like, I can't with this.
Yeah.
This is
Did you walk out?
I can't
No, we
remember
saw
if
it
I walked
together.
out. Yeah.
We didn't leave. We sat through the
We
rest.
didn't
We
leave. I
wanted to.
paid the
We
money.
turned to each other and were like,
So, did you intentionally go into the movie thinking it was going to be good?
yes, actually. We thought there was a chance that we could be surprised. We
I
knew it
was like,
wasn't great looking, but we're like, you never know.
I was like, we managed to power through the mask or Son of the Mask, so we're like, this can't be that bad.
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
hold
like,
on.
at
You're saying
worst, we'll
Son of the
laugh
Mask is
about it.
better than this?
That's saying a lot.
Oh,
We really thought at worst we could make fun of it as we're watching it, but even then it was rough.
so I wonder how you guys feel about this. I think there's nothing worse to sit through than a bad comedy.
Mm.
At least with a bad movie from any other genre, I could laugh at it. But a bad comedy, I feel offended.
Master Disguise, perfect
Yeah.
example.
So I remember my friend Tim and I were going to go see Jack and Jill, and we went there with the intention of riffing it. 10 minutes in, he fell asleep, and I was left to watch that thing by myself.
That's similar to what you thought I was gonna pick, right?
You know, I know what movie you're going to pick.
Yeah.
Dreamhouse.
Yes. Yeah. Dreamhouse is probably the worst film I've seen in theaters.
Literally,
So
because it was the only time I've seen you get as physically angry about a movie as I was.
yeah, I think the problem was we saw that what was the found footage film we saw right before that? We went to two films.
Not Last Exorcism.
Yes, that's what it was. I knew it was an Exorcist movie. So The Last
Yeah.
Exorcism isn't horrible, but
This.
found footage around that time was very popular in 2010 and or 2011 or whatever, and it was giving me a headache. So I was like, this isn't great, but Dreamhouse has to be better, right? And it is one of the worst films ever created. I don't know how Daniel Craig and
You
Rachel
didn't
Weisz
even
are
try to
together.
disguise the plot twist at all.
Yeah, the plot twist is obvious from the get-go, and you're like, is this really what they're doing? Is this all it is? And there's still an hour and 50 minutes left,
Yeah.
and you have to sit through them explaining it to each other over and over again because it's just a couple that gets into a haunted house, and it turns out they are the haunted themselves. It's like, you know that right away. You can tell. They're like floating through the walls. And
Also,
I was
the
just so
way
mad that they thought we were so dumb as to not realize that's what they're doing that I wanted to leave. But I think we were going to go see a third film, and so we couldn't just leave.
it was also a waste of talent because you were huge with on Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite actresses.
Daniel Craig was in the midst of doing the Bond movies, and
Yeah,
Tim Sheridan is a great director.
right. In the Name of the Father.
Yeah,
The other one I was thinking of that I actually thought you were going to pick was The X with Zach Braff.
I took a
You
nap during that one.
you didn't actually see it, so you did that to me. You fell asleep, but we were going to go see Lucky You after that. So I was like, I got to stay awake so we make it to Lucky You. I wish I'd fallen asleep.
You know what's crazy? I think we saw 4 or 5 movies that day, and the best movie of the lot, and I still contend it's the only good movies ever directed, which is The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, The Devil's Rejects is good.
And actually, I've subsequently rewatched that Bad News Bears remake. Pretty good.
That's fine. That was fine too. So I thought Lucky You was the best of the three, though.
Boy, that's not saying much.
Yeah, that wasn't a good day.
Another one that made me physically angry was the Vacation remake.
Oh yeah, you warned me about that and I didn't listen. But I watched
Yeah,
that here at Dad's
I
house one night.
I loathe that thing.
I was working on one of our guides, so I wasn't really watching it.
Yeah. How do you take a beloved Chevy Chase classic and just completely deride it?
And with like offensively unfunny jokes.
And for him to be in it pretty much is giving it the rubber stamp of approval.
Yeah.
More offensive. Hey, wait, this movie's horrible, but there is one highlight, and maybe you'll agree with me. I think you did at the time. You and I saw Transporter 2,
Mm,
and the only highlight is when that female driver licks Jason Statham's face.
it's kind of hot. Yeah.
Yeah, that part was hot.
That wasn't the worst I've seen in theaters, but it wasn't a
Yeah.
great experience. The only reason I didn't mind that was because DeSales used to give us free tickets.
The only movie I've ever walked out on
Ooh.
was more circumstantial than the quality of the movie,
Oh,
if
what's
I'm being
that?
honest.
Was it a bad film?
I'm
What
It
movie?
was an okay film. It was The Princess Diaries 2, A Royal
Royal
Engagement.
Engagement.
I saw it with Tristan.
We did watch that for free.
Yeah,
Well,
it was in the
so
basement.
no, because that was the one where I was trying to. I was still. I'm sure I've told this story
Have we
before,
told
but
this story on the podcast?
I
We've
don't
got to do
know.
it for posterity at least.
Okay, fine.
So I was about to go off to college. I'll tell my part and you can get into yours. I had to leave a week after Harold and Kumar comes out. go to White Castle, the original Harold and Kumar. And so you guys were under 18, and the rule in New Jersey, at
Yeah.
least at the
No,
time, was that anyone under 18 had to
we
be go to a movie with a guardian or parent,
The
but you had to
hell?
be minimum 25 to do that. So I'm like, okay, if half of us are above 18, are they any more mature than me? Like, it doesn't
no.
matter.
I mean, the fact of the matter was, Sean and I were still technically under 17, so we
Sean
couldn't.
turned 8 or 17 4 days later.
Yeah.
So he's going to mature in 4 days, more
Right.
than that day we were going to see the movie. But I couldn't,
Legally.
I
Still
had to
has.
leave in between. I think our first day of classes was his birthday. I had to leave before that. We had to see the movie that day. It's the only chance we were going to have.
So we went to go see it, and I had to buy a ticket for a different movie and do one of those like, oh, I'll just sneak in after the fact. But we went with
Which we did
Pat,
a lot that year.
and you guys kept talking to me after we went into the lobby.
I did not, Pat
Pat,
did.
no, you didn't.
Pat kept talking.
Pat kept talking to me. I'm like, go away. I'm trying to figure this
I kept
out.
trying to drag Pat and Mike away from you because I'm like, you're making it obvious. There are 4 teenagers here. Like,
Right. Ugh.
Sean knew that was about to happen because he knows Pat and Mike,
The
and so he
end.
just ditched us
Yeah.
and wandered around
And I
Target
was
for a
trying.
while.
Yeah, no. So then we get in, we sit down at the movie. The trailers have gone through. It made it all the way through the trailers. And then the movie starts, and then you see the usher come in, and he's got his little flashlight. And he's like waving in the front row, and he's just like, he sees
Yeah,
me. He's like,
the
"You, come
idiots
here."
decided to sit in the front row. This is before
Yeah,
you had to
yeah.
choose
This
your
is
seats. Why did we not sit in a hidden spot?
yeah. They had that. You still gotta get the best seats, I
The
guess.
most obvious.
Even if you're doing that, so you're sitting like right
They
in
really,
the front
they
row of the
really
back
screwed you over.
part. And then he's like, "You, come here." I was like, "All right, fine." So I go, and he brings me out, and we're in the hallway. And he's like, "So what movie did you actually buy a ticket for?" I'm like, "Princess Diaries 2." He's like, "Oh, well, you can either go see that movie, or you can wait outside for your friends until the other movie's done." And I'm like, "Well, I paid the money, so I might as well go." And so I sat there, and it was just me and a bunch of moms and a bunch of 12-year-olds, and I was just like, this is
You're
I
maniacal.
feel like I should not be here right now. But I
It was
sat
where you
there, I
belonged.
enjoyed most of the movie, and then at one point I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. And then I left right at the time that you
Harold and
guys were
Kumar.
getting the Harold and Kumar had gotten out.
Yeah, my favorite part of this is Pat, halfway through the movie, is like, I gotta go. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, I have my job to go to. And we're like, you didn't tell us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We could have tried to, like, legitimately, now in hindsight, knowing all these issues, we could have tried to have me come back like a week after school started to go see Harold and Kumar specifically. Like, we all could have waited a week, you know?
Could have had like a
But
master plan
of
and
course,
like
yeah, who knows?
stagger
But
our entrances.
yeah, my favorite, yeah, we didn't plan it all. We did for Kill Bill. We did a really good job with Kill Bill. We did a good job with something else that year. My favorite part is Mike and I, the only two left to actually see the full film that day, walk out of the theater. We look to our left, nothing. We look to our right. Sean has appeared out of nowhere, having wandered the parking lot and Target and other places for the 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, what do we do? Do we like, did Jeff just go home? We tell Sean what happened. Pat and Jeff are gone. And we're like, what should we do to try and find Jeff? We can't just go in and ask. We can't like sneak into Princess Diaries. We're like, how long is Princess Diaries? We turn around. The
See, it's
concession
worse.
person is there.
It's actually worse if you guys try to sneak into Princess Diaries, because
Right.
that's somehow
For a split
creepier.
second, I thought, do we sneak back in to get Jeff? No. We're like, it has to be longer than Harold and Kumar, but we go up to the woman at the ticket booth. We're like, hi, do you know when? And right before I say Princess Diaries gets out, Jeff appears at the door. So he chose the right moment for us to go. He like felt
I
us leave the
left.
theater.
There were like 12 minutes left in the movie,
Yeah.
so it wasn't even like.
So he
So
never
I saw
finished
most
it.
of it,
He never saw
But
the royal engagement.
and then y'all bought me a copy of it for my
Xmas.
birthday.
Oh, it was
for
So
your
it was my
birthday?
birthday, and it
Okay.
was widescreen. It was full screen.
Yeah, it was.
You assholes! Barely a movie.
Can't see the full 12 minutes.
All right, I'll go back and do another retrospective on that one.
We were good friends. Look at us still together.
But that's not to say it was a fun movie. I just felt uncomfortable because it was me and a bunch of children, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, one of the first things Cory and I actually watched was Princess Diaries 2 because
But-
our school used to show movies in the basement once where they were on DVD. It actually isn't that bad. It's better than the first one.
Here's the pro tip though that I
This is
learned
very-
is buy a slightly more realistic ticket because the Village was out at this, or not the Village. It was the Village. Yeah, the
No,
Village
Village
was
was
out at
out
the
in
same.
August '04.
Village was out at the same time. If I had just bought a ticket for the Village, which was PG-13,
Yeah,
because I
I
realized
think
that after the fact, it was just like, but I think I was doing it for the bit too. It's just like I'm just gonna buy a ticket for the Princess Diaries.
I seem to remember trying to help you with that. Like we stepped away and I'm like, Village is starting like an hour later. It's too obvious that you're here too early for the Village. But
I don't know.
if they had caught you for that, they might have said go into the Village and you wouldn't have had any
Listen,
time.
the point is we need to save movie theaters, and if all of this Warner Brothers bullshit goes through, we can't have fun stories like this anymore from idiot kids trying to sneak into movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think people like
We
you on
need
my
it. It's part of the legacy. Support your local movie theater.
Cory.
no.
Anyway,
That's about it. That wraps up worst movie experience. That's actually one of my favorite movie going experiences of all time. I loved Harold and Kumar.
eventually I did see it.
Yeah,
It was
we
really
made sure
good.
once it was on DVD, we got Jeff over and we watched it. Like we made sure he saw it. Like we weren't
Did you
gonna
like it,
like,
Jeff, or was
yeah,
it
see it on
worth
your own.
the
Was it
was it
worth
worth
the wait?
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
the hesitation?
It was. I gotta do the
I kept
trilogy
it.
I remember the
sometime.
good thing. The
Well, it
good thing
was
we
that
did for that
that
was we'd
was
get a Crave case and have it all together if we
yeah, that was
rewatched
gonna be
Harold
one of the
Kumar.
things I watched this month because I was trying to watch a Christmas movie every day, and then I got busy after day 7. So
Aaron Kumar
I'm trying
Chris.
to. I'll get there, but I do want to watch the Harold and Kumar Save Christmas once
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
But anyway,
Since it is the end of the year, speaking of Christmas, we, as usual, will have our best of the year, best of 1995 coming out. We're going to record it right after Christmas, and it's a tight end of the year, so we're probably releasing it on January 2nd. And shortly after, we'll probably record our January 96 episode. So stay tuned for that as well, but have a good end of your year. Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to what our 96 will look like. I'm happy we finally got our chance to talk about one of the biggest films of the 90s. I'm very satisfied with what we saw.
like and subscribe.
Great like
All that jazz.
That's like the poly on what's the poly on the television? That's a penguin.
Yar.
Oh boy.
I think he's drunk.
I think he's
What?
looking for a cracker.
It's looking for something.
Yeah, you're a punk manager. What were they were throwing chickens at the Minecraft screen?